to another episode of my garage, where, as you can just see from that bit of a different intro style for me there, we have just actually achieved Rally 2. That is actually the first attempt I've tried at that. There's our $1,500 winnings and the best trophy I've ever had by a long shot. As you can see, I did rebuild the front of the car, didn't bother paint it, didn't do anything fancy. It's a standard bumper. We did damage the car on that run, but it's going to be really difficult to tell where, because, well, the whole back end is destroyed anyway. This door doesn't even fit right anymore. Do still have both those windows. Still have that window. Backlights are destroyed. That window is broken. It could have been that one. But either way, we did the run. I didn't repair this. This is not new damage. That was from yesterday's attempt at this. I just got the front of it put back together. It wasn't actually all too bad. If I pop my head through here, it was just that top bar, the hub, and the track rod end, and of course the wheel and tyre. It wasn't all too bad at all. And a lot of bodywork. Like all of the bodywork. But I will very quickly run back to the garage, and then we'll get this episode started properly. See you guys there. Okay, that's the car put away. Broke this headlight. This headlight's not there, and I did tap the wall over there. Oh, there's the headlight actually. I knocked the headlights out of it. That should hammer out though. Doesn't affect how the car drives. We do still have this BMW here, but that is not what we're going to do today. Today we're going to go and buy a used car and see if we can make a good bit of money off of it. And I don't even know what's in the used car dealership today, but we'll have a look. If there's nothing good, I'll change to a different day, and we'll keep repeating the cycle until we find the ideal car. We'll bring you guys back there. Okay, as you can see, I have purchased a what looks to be a long B200 from the used car lot. It does have damage on the front side. I haven't driven this yet. The engine is in a poor way. The radiator, not the radiator, the battery is in a poor state of affairs. I don't even know if this car will even run. It seems to be squatting. Bit of rust around the back here. Nothing dramatic. It's about 16 different colours. Let's jump in here. Lovely green interior. The interior actually looks in good condition, barring the headliner. Door card, unfortunately. This car does run. It is somewhat underpowered though, I will say that. Jump out and let's actually assess what we've got here. Turn the torch off. It's not bad. It's really not bad. So let's see what we can do with it. Okay, so before we got started, I just cleaned up because it's getting a bit messy in here. Let's first of all grab the hammer and see if there's anything around the back of the truck. Looks like it needs a whole new front end on it. Just make sure I can see into the truck there. I'm not sure if that's necessarily normal. Frame looks decent. That tyre is bald. That tyre is not, but is not pointing the same way as that one, I don't think. That tyre is bald. That one is not. That spring is not looking good. Let's start pulling some of this bodywork off. Fortunately, that hood doesn't look repairable. This fender is definitely not repairable. It's a bit flattened. I feel like there's maybe something missing, or is it just a textural issue? It's just a texture issue, I think. That, or the truck is actually missing the bulkhead. That actually wouldn't really surprise me too much. That is the other front end with extra bolts, it is indeed. Where is the missing bolt? There should be a bolt right here. And I do not see it. There it is. And of course the front bumper is not the shape it should be. I'll get a fair assessment to that one. As for the rest of these parts, the radiator looks good, but I do have to take it off. This will go back on the car, so I'll just put that there. Oh, that reminds me. Or trophy. So far we've got 3 of the same trophy. Let's pop our heads down here, take this front panel off. Bit 2 is not the right shape. And neither is this part. That should be it, unless I've taken the wrong thing off there. Potentially that. It doesn't seem to be popping off. That's okay. Let's have a look at what's going on underneath this truck. Let's stick a couple of axle stands under the front. We'll do the front first, and then we'll run around to the back. We'll do a quick cut here when I get all of this front suspension put back together. You can kind of see what's needed. I expect brakes will be needed. That brake line is needing done. Over this side we've got a steering knuckle that's away. Brake line looks fine, but brake pads are probably not. There's definitely something wrong with the steering, but it could be because of that steering knuckle. I'll find that out and I'll bring you guys back in just a second. Okay, so now we have the wheels reattached. This is obviously a brand new wheel. That's not brand new, but it's good enough. That's the wheel that came off of there. Didn't take much. Steering knuckle, I can actually show you the parts here. We've got a steering knuckle, a brake line, steering column and a tyre. I did manage to get this part off. I did have to reload the game though, so the textures have returned for this area. I think what I'm going to do next is the rear suspension. Probably shouldn't be balancing the truck on 2 axle stands. It's just enough to get that off the ground. But definitely won't be helping is the front tyre is indeed flat. Let's pump that up. That should do it. We'll go and grab the spanner. We'll rip these wheels off the back and that'll give us a better look at what's going on back here. Now I did purchase the other wheel that's needed, or the other tyre that's needed, so take that off of there and we'll throw this into the scrap pile and throw the new one on. So it's all gone wrong there. Let's try that again. There we are. I think it's because it's too close to the table and the shelves. We'll drop that down over there, probably kick it completely out of the way there. And with this one we'll just drop it there. Let's have a look here. So 2 rear shockeys, 2 rear springs. Inside of that doesn't look too good, so we need a half axle. This side looks absolutely fine, so let's start with the side that needs more. I can get my screwdriver. Sometimes you just have to pick the toolbox up. Move that off to the side and let's get this off. Brakes on this side look decent. Little rear hub. There we are. 4 bolts on that. Brake line. That will fall off. There we are. A bit funny about letting me pick up the brake lines. While I'm here, let me just see if I can get in here to get these out. There we are. That one, and this will explode everywhere, I imagine. There it is. So a brake line, a rear spring, and a rear shock. Not too bad. The car's, well, the truck's actually in relatively decent condition. And then a brake line. With a spring on first, because why not? There we are. Oh, it's all gone wrong. I've wrecked the entire garage. Brake line on. Rear shock absorber. Just like so, crawl underneath the truck to get to this one. And of course the brake drum. While I'm here, I'm just going to have a look at the brake shoes on this side. They look absolutely fine. And then finally, the wheel. With that, we can actually take that axle stand away. We're done with this side completely. Also, we need to pump the tyre up, but that's okay. So I will do the exact same thing on this side, and I'll bring you guys back when we're back to working on something else on this truck. Okay, that's the rear axle fully done. Truck's completely back on the ground. Now let's get to work on Funny shape for a door. Let's get back to work on some of this front end. This area here is very out of shape. This whole door, in fact. And we've run out. Just throw that down there and grab our last one, actually. Alright, any damage to the roof? Don't think there's any other parts that need body filler on them. I think it was just those. I do want to check if the hood will take it. Nope. Nothing over here then. We'll drop that back down. Close that door for the time being. This door card is damaged, which is really irritating because the rest of the interior is green. I won't be able to get a green door card. I think for this truck they are black. And we need a headliner as well. This is not a crew cab, is it? It's a short cab. So we need the headliner for that. As much as I dislike headliners, I want this truck to be in as good condition as possible. This is very unfortunate though. You can see it's just mangled. Not any worse than the parts that come off of my car, but bad enough. So yeah, it's just a different colour. Not ideal. We could go and get a green door card. There is a place on the map. I don't remember where it is off the top of my head, but I think it's interior store, all the way over there. We could go all the way over there to get a door card, but I'm gonna give that a miss because that's a really unnecessarily long trip. Just let everything fall off there. The headliner will stay there, apparently. Fair enough. Let's see if we can pry tool it off. That isn't what I wanted off. Very unusual how that's not falling off. Maybe if I find all the bits I took off, don't even know where they went. Oh, that worked. I still don't know where the parts went. There's the mirror. One sun visor. The other sun visor. Need to figure out where I've thrown the screwdriver as well. There's a bit of rust on that door. Quite a lot of rust on the inside of that door, actually. Now let's find the screwdriver. That's the pry tool. Put the screwdriver away. That is not like me. There we are. Other than bodywork things with the doors, that is the interior complete. Let's have a look what the car's worth now. Not an awful lot more than what we paid for it. And the overall condition is still 2 stars, but of course we are missing all of this. So let's do something about that. The first thing I'm going to need is to go back into the body, and I need a radiator support. Camera was very weird there. And it goes right here, it bolts on. Almost all of the parts to this truck bolt together. I don't think there's much welding at all other than the likes of the cab. But that kind of gives the truck its shape back, and we can also put the radiator back in. This is the original radiator, nothing actually wrong with it, so no point replacing it. The engine on the other hand, can't really say the same. Now let's go for front bumper. And this bolts on just at the sides here, a little bit different than the other cars. The other cars you have to bolt on from the front, these ones bolt on from the side. And I guess we should grab a grill. I believe that's the grill that came off the truck. But there is another option. Right here. This is the grill I personally like. There's not much difference in it, admittedly, but there is a little bit. And this is just a 2-bolt grill. Whereas the other one that came off was, of course, a 4-bolt grill. Very little difference. As you can see, it's just a slightly different grill shape, and the headlights are slightly different. That's more or less all that there is that's different. But let's get some accessories for that. Be in here somewhere. We need blinkers and headlights. I usually put the bulbs in first, but it doesn't actually make a difference. You can do it when they're on the car. It really brings the front of the truck kind of back to life almost. Now with this front end, as you can see, it's hard to see the screws or the headlights, but they are there. They're just hidden. You use the other grille, there is trim that you can sort of see around. So it's basically the usual clip your head through a grill and hope for the best. 4 screws on each headlight. Just like so. And I have absolutely no bulbs, do I? Got 2 bulbs here. Throw that in the scrap pile because that's that now empty. These little bulbs go in just like so. Oh, look at that, 2 bulbs here as well. Let's move this headliner into the scrap pile. One there, and of course one on this side. And before we get too carried away, grab the screwdriver again and come over here. Because I want the front number plate. It's not actually damaged, or it doesn't look damaged. It's got a bit of a weird visual thing there, but looks decent enough, and it's from the original car, matches the rear number plate, of course. Now, let's get a fender put on here. Be in here somewhere, all the parts are. I believe it's that one. Is indeed. Very grey, very not very pretty. There we are, and then we're just missing a hood, which I think is near the top. There, it's there. Come on. There we are. That is the truck almost back together. One thing we do need to do though is grab the pry tool and pull this bit of trim off. It's bent all sorts of out of shape. And now we've got at least 3 bits of trim that we need to replace, and they'll be in accessories. So let's see here. Also need to check if the mirror is broken. Front left. Door left and front left. Those should be the 3 that we're missing. This bit of trim goes on to the wheel arch. And we do have both mirrors, that's a bonus. This one is the bit of trim that we just took off, so it goes onto the door. And then finally, this piece right here goes onto that new fender. Now, as it stands just now, this truck is worth $1,000 more than we paid for it, but that's about what we spent to get it to this point. The engine and the mechanical side of things are really letting down the condition on this truck, as is the rust and colour condition. So let's do something about the rust and colour. As for rust, we have some inside the truck bed, some on the tailgate. There is some on this door. Looks like there isn't any between the cab and the truck bed, which is that's a good thing. That's always an absolute pain in the backside to fix. Let's start with the sandblaster. Why not? Very persistent rust on this one actually. There we are, that gets rid of all of that. And all of that. This is costing an absolute fortune in sand. And nothing around here. A little bit on the end there. Let's see if we can... I'm hitting the door. There we are. And we've run out of sand there. these trucks have a bit of a habit of being, there's some areas of them that are very difficult to get to with both paint and sand, and you actually can't get to them with the grinder. This area that I'm working on just now is a good example of that. So what I do is I just zoom in and out as such. Let's have a look here. Rust is now at 5 stars. That actually made the price go up even though the paint condition came down. We also took parts off. Let's grab some paint cans and get this truck all one colour. I'll bring you guys back once that's done because I'm actually going to clear coat this truck. I never do that, but I'm actually going to do it this time. So I'll see you guys once we've got that done. Okay, that is most of the painting done. It's definitely not all. I have missed bits here and there, but white paint is very hard to actually do. You can see in the bed of the truck, that whole side there, I didn't clear coat. I've missed patches all over the bed of the truck. You can see it there. It's very difficult to paint this. I'd have to take it all apart with the grinder and paint each part individually and then buff them up and then weld them back together, which I don't really feel is necessary, to be perfectly honest. But as you can see, we're now 5 stars for clean state, 5 stars for rust, 5 stars for color condition, 3 stars for overall condition. But this is where the condition comes from. These parts in here, this engine is not looking ideal, but this is all I have time for in this episode. In the next episode, we're going to pull that lump out and we're going to take it apart and rebuild that engine and get this to a 5-star car and make decent profit off of it, hopefully, and see how much we make from it, I guess. But that's all I have time for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, you can, of course, subscribe. And as always, you can ring that bell notification. That way you get notified of all my future uploads. And you can also join my Discord. The link to Discord is in the video description of each and every video I post. And if you can't find it there, it is also on the channel homepage. There's a few bits and pieces I'm doing on Discord just now, so if that's something that interests you, head over there and come and say hi. You can also leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you would do different with this build. I personally would repaint it a different colour, but you know, the white-ish with the blotchy clear coat is not too bad. This truck actually turned out to be more work than I originally thought when I was at the used car lot. I thought it would be a nice quick flip, but then I very quickly decided basically a full car rebuild. But that's absolutely fine. We have $1,000 left to do it, so join me for the next episode to see if we can do that. I'll see you guys there. Bye for now.